What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So it's time for the weekly rotation once again, and we've got some real variety. We got a lot of citrusy, fresh stuff, don't get me wrong, but there's a few things that are not typical stuff for the summertime, at least not what you would expect. But man, some real surprises here for me, honestly. I was shocked by a few of these. Some I reached back for in my collection that are all-time favorites. Some that are definitely newer to the rotation. But a bunch of great variety, and yeah, very much a summertime lineup once again. It's week number 236, so stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday is one from Dumont that kind of surprised me. I still can't pinpoint what it reminds me of, but it's a very fruity, spicy fragrance. It is Soprano Pure. So Soprano Pure, it falls into that kind of sweet, fruity blue category. Peppered fruits, I think would be the best way I could describe it. It's kind of Polo Blue, it's kind of Dylan Blue, it's kind of Nautica Voyage, it's kind of a lot of different things. I can't pinpoint one specific fragrance that it's like, oh, it smells a lot like that. I've been racking my brain. If you know, whomever's watching this, comment down below what you think it smells like. It's been well over a week. It's been almost 2 weeks now since I started spending time with it. I still can't figure out for the life of me what it smells like, but the quality here is decent. As is the case with most Dumont fragrances, some are better than others in quality for sure. I actually have one of their Borouj fragrances on my hand right now. My God, I can't wait to do that review. That's phenomenal. But this one in particular, you'll probably have stuff in your collection that do this job, hence all the different kind of smells like options I threw out there. So really good stuff, just not so special that you probably need this in your collection because you probably already have this in your collection in a different bottle for the most part. Performance is above average, as with all the other Dumonts I've tried. They're anywhere from, above average to beast mode. This one's not quite beast mode, but smells really good. You could do a whole lot worse. This is, well above average as far as adding to a collection. It's just if you have a sizable collection, it's probably going to fall into some redundancy for you, but it is a pretty good fragrance nonetheless. It is what it is. During the day, Soprano Pure from Dumont. Then we got the shower. It was time for a good shave, and we went with the Zaharoff Signature Citrine Shave Set. Been a little bit since I've used this. I've been going back and forth with my Dior Sauvage Aftershave Splash a lot lately. I was in the mood for Citrine. I haven't sprayed Citrine in a while. 'Tis the season for this bright, fresh orange clementine combo. And I do get a lot of the incense out of this one. I always have. Has a little bit of amber going for it. Man, this is one of the best openings ever. Definitely the best opening as far as the Zaharoff signature line. This is gorgeous stuff. Restocked recently, so anybody that wants to get their hands on it, there's samples available and stuff like that. In the link down below, I would highly encourage checking Citrine out if you want a more resinous green citrus, because the green's not just a cool color for the cap. There is some fresh green elements to this fragrance, but it's mainly about that clementine and sweet orange in the top. It's just beautiful stuff. Out the shower, went with Zaharoff Signature Citrine. Moving into Monday is an interesting combo that smells great. During the day, not typically something you would think for during the day in warmer weather, but it is Carolina Herrera's 212 VIP Men, which I just recently did a full review of on the channel. I think it's one of those fresher vanilla smelling fragrances that just works. Now, it's tonka bean, not vanilla, but it does smell like vanilla. You get a little bit of citruses at the top, a nice peppered, spicy tone. Then it starts to settle into this vodka accord that they have that gives kind of this alcoholic vibe to it, almost gin-like, if you will. With a soft, powdery, yet fresh tonka bean vanilla type of smell to it that I think is great for everyday wear. Above average performance, not a beast. But definitely falls around 7 hours easily in longevity on my skin. I quite like this. I have several others in the line that I'm starting to spend time with. I'm slowly going to review, but I wanted to review the original first. And I know I'm very late to the party on this one. I've heard it was a different fragrance through reformulations, yada, yada, blah, 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 and all the good stuff that comes with designer fragrances that have been on the market for many years. Point being, this particular bottle smells great for me, performs pretty well, and Not exactly what I expected it to be, but kind of worked out better than I expected it to be. During the day, 212 VIP men, and then when I got the shower, we got Lucianno's Sunset Swim, which is pretty close to afternoon swim from Louis Vuitton for the most part. This is more of a rindy, juicy citrus, average performance, smells really, really good. Norstad Quattro works just as well. I just recently did a versus video between those two. If you want to check that out, if you want my thoughts between the two, definitely check that video out. It's a recent upload here on the channel under the videos section. This is good stuff. I understand the love and the hype behind Luciano fragrances. I have almost all of them myself. The only one I don't have is the one that smells like Ambre Nomade. But if you can get your hands on them for a good price, which they are pretty good price down in the link below, check them out. Out the Shower, Sunset Swim. Moving into Tuesday was a blue kind of day for me. This is one of those reach backs I was talking about, both channel favorites, but we're talking about Bulgari's Aqua Atlantique. This, fun fact, is the first full review video on this channel was on this bottle, Bulgari's Aqua Atlantique, which smells like, for any of you familiar with these two fragrances, Dylan Blue from Versace, mixed with the original Bulgari Aqua. It has that seaweed, saltwater, marine, aquatic smell, mixed with kind of the blue, woody, smoky, citrusy elements of Dylan Blue, kind of that shower gel type of fragrance with peppered shower gel, I guess you could say. I've always loved this fragrance. I saw some people saying it's not a beast for them. I'm sorry about your skin chemistry and or olfactive issues, but monster on my skin. Always has been. 3 sprays has always been plenty. Granted, I've been doing 5 to 6 sprays just to make this ridiculous sillage that I do get a little nose fatigue too, because there's a lot of ambroxan in here. Even though they don't list it, it's like amberwood and ambergris and all that good stuff, but it's an ambroxan smell. It's synthetics. A lot of synthetics is the moral of that story, but it's a beautiful, dense blue oceanic aquatic that I'm just here for. I love this fragrance. It smells great. I've gotten many compliments over the years of wearing this one. It was nice to reach back because it's been a while since I wore it. During the day, Bulgari's Aqua Atlantique, and then I got the shower, my absolute favorite fragrance, Seraphine Blue. It continues to drop the juice level. I actually wore it twice this week. It'll come up again here in a few days. Get a sample. You may not love it the way I love it. You may love it the way I love it, but you don't know if you don't get a sample. And every time I say get a sample, I have to touch on this because it's been driving me insane the last couple of days. How is not the first thought when you hear get a sample, check the company's website? That would be the first place to look for a actual sample of a fragrance from a company, is the company's website. I hope all of you that have been asking me where do I get a sample when I say sample in my comment sections are watching this section right here and now so I can address all of you at once. There's always links in my video descriptions, but it happens in shorts videos where it's not always links, but always think, especially with a brand new release, like City Rhythm's newest release is one of the more recent examples here, cityrhythmfragrance.com. A sample of the new Zaharoff fragrance, Zaharoff.com. A new Mancera release, Mancera Parfums, I believe is their website, .com. Or just type in Google, Mancera. So I had to let you guys know that because it's been like making me bounce off a wall because it's been in abundance lately, guys. Always check the company's website first to get an official carded sample, box sample, discovery set. That is my advice for the best way to secure samples. If you can't find it from them, there's countless decant sites out there that you can do a little search on. Decant X, Scent Split, FatBoyFragrance.com, Decant House, the Fragrance Decant Boutique. There's so many ways to get samples and or decants, but first thought, in my opinion, and I thought obviously should always be check the company's website. So sorry about my tangent, my rant. It's been a lot the last couple of days. A lot, where it's like instead of constantly replying, let me just address it one time in a video real quick, and hopefully at least half of you guys that have been asking see this. But moral of the story, sample this. Nothing's really a safe blind buy. I wouldn't say this is a safe blind buy unless you really understand what you're getting into with the wintergreen freshness, the soft floral tone from the iris. You get a little bit of creaminess from some coconut. It's got this breezy oceanic mist-like feel to it as far as the saltwater tone from the seaweed and the sea notes that are in here. A nice creamy musk, a little bit of sweetness. It's kind of the blue you would expect if you're familiar with this line from Zaharoff. Kind of the blue you would expect it to be for the most part. Maybe a little bit different, but you know, that grown man type of blue. This isn't a Macy's Dylan blue, Blue de Chanel. This is not that kind of blue. This is different, guys. So it was nice to revisit it. Out the shower, Seraphine Blue. Moving into Wednesday, I decided to wear this one all day. I'm going to be working on a full review. Probably going to film that review today, actually. Halloween Man Mystery. So another one that's basically peppered fruits is kind of how you can look at this one. This one does remind me more so of Dylan Blue for real, though. There's a nice, almost metallic-like element to this. Juicy citrus, definitely falls to the sweeter side of citrus, a more artificial smell, I gotta say. Nothing natural smelling about this, but easy to like. If you're familiar with any of the other Halloween Man fragrances, nothing natural about these. They do smell like cheaper fragrances, but they smell like really good cheaper fragrances. They usually put out some good stuff in this line. Jesus Del Pozo's definitely got something working here with this Halloween Man line, and I'm not going to say this is the best one of the bunch because I know a lot of people love their Halloween Man X for their coffee fragrance. I'm a big advocate for Halloween Man Hero, basically lavender dominant Invictus Aqua 2018. Very close alternative for that. But this was so enjoyable, I decided to wear it again on this particular evening. Performance is well above average. And I want to say it was like 30 some odd, maybe $40 for this 4.2 ounce. Super affordable, super likable, mass appealing on the youthful side. You just can't go wrong here. All day long, Halloween Man Mystery. Moving into Thursday, I will be filming this review and putting it out today after this video, in fact. I think this is Dumont's best fragrance for me. It's another one that kind of falls in the Aventus Hachivat family, more so Hachivat because it's so dominant with oak moss, but a lot of musk and woods here. It's not quite as fruity as something like Hachivat. Speaking of the Borouj line I mentioned earlier, this is Borouj Spiritus from Dumont. First of all, the bottles are excellent. The atomizer is excellent. And this is their highest oil quality, or at least highest quality smelling fragrances. I have Perlador here on my hand currently, and it reminds me kind of a Wajan meets Herrera kind of thing. We'll get to that in a different video. Oh, man. So because I like this so much, I was like, the next one I want to test is going to be from this line. So that's why I got this on my hand. This is really good, guys. I like this more. And those of you that have been following along for all the Dumont reviews I've been doing, Nitro Red's been my favorite because it's Watermelon Invictus. Nothing's been able to topple it as my favorite. This is my favorite. I like this more than Nitro Red. This is my number one from Dumont now. Nitro Red, Nitro White have bumped to 2 and 3. Because this is uber masculine, quality stuff, chypre dominant, a little bit of citruses and fruits at the top. Again, like I said, kind of reminds me of Hachivat without quite being Hachivat because it's a very musky, woodsy, earthy green chypre with, like I said, that citrus and fruit tone fades, not rather quickly, but it doesn't stay a long time. It very much becomes a spicy green woody musk as it dries. Not too dirty of an earthy smell, but clearly some oak moss. Great performance. This is uber masculine, super masculine fragrance. Not going to be for everybody. If you want that youthful, playful stuff, this ain't it. You want that grown man kind of shit, here you go, fellas. It's that jam. During the day, Dumont's Borouj Spiritus. Then we got the shower. I don't know why I was in the mood for it. The 2024 Acqua di Gio Profondo Eau de Parfum, not the parfum, the Eau de Parfum, the re-release of the original Profondo. It's slightly fresher. It still has the mineral notes, the mimosa, the orange, all of that good stuff that you find in the original Profondo, oceanic, saltwater, marine. I just find it to be a little bit fresher. So if you like the original Profondo, your bottle's running low, this is the replacement. I'm pretty sure it's replaced the original Profondo because it is a rebottling re-release. They did that with the Parfum. They did that with the Eau de Parfum. Apparently they did it with the original Profondo. They're just changing up kind of the uniformity for presentation with, and they haven't changed the fragrance much. I mean, not that I can really tell, aside from the freshness, which I think the longer it sits, the more it's going to richen up to smelling like the original. It's not as sharp. You know, doesn't come across as scratchy and synthetic as the original. So I guess there's that as well, but performance above average. It's not the beast that the original was, but it's still above average. I've been clocking it 7 to 8 hours in the little bit of time I've spent with it. And it's about as loud, just maybe not quite as loud as the original. So again, there's some formulation changes here, obviously, but it's nothing to where I would say, oh my God, bro, so weak they ruined the fragrance. No, you're not going to hear that from me because I don't feel that way. I don't think that's the case. But it is good stuff. If you were looking to re-up on your bottle of Profondo, you'll be in good shape with this. Out the shower, Acqua di Gio Profondo Eau de Parfum. Moving into Friday. Oh, buddy, what a great release was this. City Rhythm Puerto Rico. Niles' newest fragrance, and I am sticking with my descriptor of this one. It smells like wood fire grilled pineapple and melon. There's finger lime here. There's this toasted coconut driftwood combo that makes this odd wood fire grill smell. And the pineapple here, it dries it out a little bit. There's a melon note, there's finger lime, and I forgot, there's a little bit of vanilla that creeps in that kind of softens it and adds a slight creamy sweetness a little while into the life of the fragrance. But what a great release. This is top release of the year for me. Right behind this is my two favorite releases of the year right here. Oh, God, that's good. Man, so unique. And when you smell it, it's like, how has that not been done before? I've never smelled anything like it. It smells like wood fire grilled fruits. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Such a unique tropical blend for somebody that's constantly trying new fragrances, constantly coming against redundancy-inspired fragrances, similarities. When I come across something that's so different from everything else that I've smelled, I get really excited. And that's what happened here. Get a sample. Yes, from the company's website that's linked below. Get a sample and try this one. Not blind buy safe. It's on the pricey side. Don't get me wrong. For 100 ml, this is a 50 ml. You can get 10 mLs and a 2 ml sample as well. I think there's a limit of 2 per fragrance for the samples. They're either $7 or $8. City Rhythm is linked below. There is a code to save 7%. Neither are affiliated. I don't get a kickback from either. It's just there for convenience for you guys. And I would strongly encourage checking this one out. If anything I said about it sounds good to you. And of course, phenomenal performance, as can be expected with City Rhythm. It's their newest release, Puerto Rico. My God, is that amazing. And then out the shower, very, very juicy, thick, sweet citrus to this one. There's a little bit of green, but very sweet citrus with Toy 2 Pearl. Been going back to the well on this one, spending a little bit of time with it. It's not groundbreaking. It's not special, but it does smell really good, and performance is pretty good. It stays citrus for almost the entire life of the fragrance, which is about 6 to 7 hours before it falls off a cliff as a faint skin scent, has been my experience so far. I've worn it twice now, as well as a few test sprays. And I like it a lot. I don't love it. I think Toy Boy is better because it's more interesting. This is a slightly more generic when you compare it to something else, like Toy 2 Bubblegum and Toy Boy are the other two that I have in the teddy bear bottle. They're both more interesting. Whereas this is more simplistic and straightforward, but this is highly wearable compared to those two because it's a juicy, sweet citrus fragrance with a little bit of woods and a slight green tone with decent performance, average to above average kind of stuff. I think everybody can enjoy this one. If you find this one cheap, don't hesitate if it sounds interesting. That's what I did. I grabbed this 50 ml because 50 ml is all I need. Out the shower. Toy 2 Pearl from Moschino. And finally on Saturday, I was doing my best powdery fragrance video and gave myself 2 sprays before I went to the gym in the video. Check out that video if you haven't seen that video yet. It's the video right before this one. Ended up refreshing when I got home with Prolom Low, my big 5.1 ounce bottle. Ginger brightens and crispens, makes it crisp. The opening quite a bit compared to Prolom. It's not as peppered spice as Prolom. I believe that's like black pepper and cardamom if I remember correctly. It's a fresh, soapy, powdery iris. Neroli iris, still the stars here. This one again, 7 to 8 hours longevity. Really good performance for what it is. And yeah, one of the better fresh irises ever, especially as far as designers are concerned. If you like soapy and powdery with your iris, you'll like this. I absolutely enjoy it. Hence why when we were talking about it, out of all 10 powdery fragrances I had in the video, This was the one where I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear this right now. And I gave myself a few sprays, refreshed when I came home. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's my favorite Prada Loam over the Intense, which I know is a lot of people's favorite. I like all of them. I got to try Water Splash recently. Redundant to this, that one is fresher, don't get me wrong, but you don't need it if you have this one. And then I never tried the Absolute. Missed the boat on that one. I'd like to get a bottle. Maybe one day, maybe not. Is what it is. As long as I got this, I'm happy. During the day, Prolom Low. Then we got the shower. Back to the well. Zaharoff Signature Seraphine Blue. My favorite fragrance of my collection. My favorite release of this year. That is not going to change. Maybe it's not that for you. Maybe it is that for you. Because a lot of people have been digging the hell out of this fragrance. There's a few people, maybe not so much for them. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Sometimes it falls in between. That goes for every fragrance. And just because I absolutely adore it doesn't mean you will. And that goes for this one as well. Because my top 2 releases of the year right here. And then something like this, my favorite Dumont, might not be your favorite Dumont. And so on. You get the point. It's all just my opinion. This makes me so happy. You know, I'll be traveling in Louisiana, and today it's Sunday. On Thursday, I'll be heading out for my competition. And please, I hope anybody that wants to ask me about why am I losing so much weight, man, you look sick, you're starting to look unhealthy, shut your dirty whore mouths, first and foremost. I hope that made some of you pop and laugh a little bit. I'm getting on stage for bodybuilding. It's part of it. I'm cutting. That's been maddening, more so than the sample stuff the last like 2 weeks. People that haven't watched in a long time, you see the plumper, fat, swole, full of water retention guy before, then you come see Death Face, and you're like, what happened? Crack addiction, guys, crack addiction. It's been my go-to answer lately. It's like, why bother explaining over and over? But point being, the moral of the story for this tangent is I think I'm going to bring this with me. Because once I get my spray tan, I'm not spraying nothing on me. Like Friday evening, because it's 7 o'clock, I'm getting my spray tan thrown on Friday night. And I don't want to risk making anything splotchy from spraying alcohol on me. So from Saturday night on into majority of the day, Friday night, majority of the day, Saturday, I won't be wearing anything. That kind of sucks. But we're driving out Thursday. I'm going to wear something that day. Wear something during the day Friday. And then Saturday night when we go out to dinner after, I'm going to spray something on. Sunday for travel back, I'm going to want to spray something. I can't pick a better fragrance for the situation. I'm bringing this with me. This is going to be the one fragrance that makes the trip for all the times when I'm able to and want to spray something. I'm rocking Seraphine Blue. A lot of people have been asking me what you're going to wear on stage. Nothing. It just doesn't make sense to risk messing up the tan. But this is beyond sometimes maybe good. So this is definitely the one. If I'm just going to bring one fragrance that I can constantly enjoy every time I have an opportunity to spray something, it's definitely this, because this has been my go-to. I keep going back to the well every week with this one. I love wearing it. It speaks to me. It suits my taste perfectly. I'm bringing this one with me out the shower on Saturday, and probably half of the next week's rotation to get ready for that is going to be Zaharoff Signature Seraphine Blue. Well, that was this week's rotation, and until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback and love hearing from you guys. I hope for those of you that hung the whole time, I hope those couple tangents and cracking some jokes on people with samples and the whole, what's wrong, what happened, you look unhealthy, and my tangents on that. That was for entertainment purposes. People take things seriously. Don't take me too seriously. I'm just having some fun. If it does offend you, bye. I don't know what to tell you. But I appreciate all of you that did hang out, and do appreciate a nice little bit of a, what's a good word for fodder? Shout out to my man Joey. I guess a little bit of fodder here in the commentary of the weekly rotation, because I'm just having some fun. I'm loving life. I'm enjoying making my content. I'm loving the process of being depleted right now to get on stage this week, and because we are officially in peak week at the recording of this, salt loading, water loading, no artificial sweeteners, no energy drinks, no Diet Dr. Peppers. All the things started today. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this was enjoyable for you in some form or fashion, whether it was the fragrances or the little tangents to kind of entertain you and me, because I'm entertaining me at the same time, obviously. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Y'all have a good one.